Hey YouTube, this is Yirmiyahu Weeps. I am going to be going into the 4th chapter of Bereshit, commonly known as Genesis. So I'm just gonna jump right in. I'm gonna start off by reading it, and then I'm gonna read over my notes, and then if there's anything I feel I want to add to that, I will. But I'm just gonna go ahead. Okay, chapter 4. And the Adam, which means man or earthling, had intimately, interactively, and sexually known at Hawa, and that intimately, interactively, and sexually known is from Yada, and means to know is in like to really know somebody or something. Had intimately, interactively, and sexually known Hawa, which means gathering or declaration or humility. His Isha, meaning woman and wife. And she conceived and gave birth to Cain. Oh, I'm sorry, let me start over. I'm starting over, and I'm just going to read, and then maybe I'll go back through it. And the Adam had intimately, interactively, and sexually known at Hawa, his Isha. And she conceived and gave birth to at Cain. And she said, I have Kana and Ish at Yahweh. And again she gave birth to his brother Habel. And Habel shepherded as a keeper of flocks, while Cain became a worker of the Adamah. And it came to pass at the conclusion of days that Cain brought a gift of the produce of the Adamah to Yahweh. But Habel he also brought from the firstborn of the females of his flocks, the fattest. And Yahweh looked with favor to Habel and his gift. Let me go down a little bit. But he did not look with favor to Cain and his gift. And Cain burned with anger, and his face fell. And Yahweh said to Cain, Why are you burning with anger? And why are you sad? If you cause it to be done good and right, won't there be uplifting? And if you don't cause it to be done good and right, an opening of error is stretching out, and to you is his teshukah, and you will rule in him. And Cain said to Habel, his brother, and this is debatable authenticity, whether this is actually in the text or not, but I'm just going to read it. Let's go out into the field. That's the part that's debatable. And it came to be, while they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Habel, his brother, and killed him. And Yahweh said to Cain, Where is Habel, your brother? And he said, I don't know. Am I the guard and protector of my brother? And he said, What have you done? The voice of the bloods of your brother cries out to me from the Adamah. And now cursed are you from the Adamah, which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. If you work the Adamah, she will no longer yield her strength to you. You will be an unstable wanderer on the land. And Cain said to Yahweh, My crookedness and twistedness is too great to be lifted. Look, you cast me out from the face of the Adamah today, and I am hidden from your face. I will be an unstable wanderer on the Adamah, and it will be that anyone and everyone who finds me will kill me. And Yahweh said to him, All right then, if anyone kills Cain, vengeance will be 7 times as much. And Yahweh placed a special mark on Cain, so that anyone finding him would not strike him down. So Cain went out from the face of Yahweh, and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain intimately, interactively, and sexually knew his Isha, and she conceived and brought forth Hanok. And he built a city, and called the name of the city according to the name of his son, Hanok. And Irad was brought forth to Hanok. And Irad had brought forth Mehuyael, and Mehuyael had brought forth Methusael, and Methusael had brought forth Lamech, and Lamech took for himself 2 Isha. The name of one was Adah, and the name of the second was Tzila. And Adah brought forth Yabel. He was the founder of those who dwell in tents with livestock. And his brother's name was Yubal. He was the founder of all those who play the harp and pipe. Sila also had brought forth Tubal-Cain, a sharpener of everything in copper and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said to his Isha, Ada and Sila, listen to me. Isha of Lamech, hear my words. Because I have killed an Ish for wounding me, yes, even a Yeled for hurting me. If Cain is avenged 7 times as much, then Lamech 77 times. And the Adam intimately, interactively, and sexually knew his Isha again, and she brought forth and she bore a son and called his name Shet, because saying, because Elohim has appointed me another seed instead of Chabel, because Cain killed him. And to Shet, to him also a son was born, and he called out his name Enosh. At that time he profaned and defiled to call out in the name of Yahweh. Okay. There are a number of things in that chapter I want to go through, so I'm just going to go back and start going back over. Give me a moment. Okay. It says the Adam had intimately, interactively, and sexually known at Hawa. That intimately, interactively, and sexually known is, like I said, is from Yada, and means to like know something, to really know, and can connote experientially knowing something. So when it says he knew her, he like intimately knew her, and it's referring to a sexual relationship. You can tell by that she conceives. And that et is the aleph tau, and is not translatable into English from the best of my understanding. It's a word that's basically like a plow. It plows the way from the verb to the object of the sentence. So that's the function of the word, but it's composed of the first and last letters of the Hebrew alphabet, the aleph and the tau. So and then Hawa means gathering or declaration of humility, from the best I could understand, commonly known as Eve. Her name is Hawa, the best I know. The Isha, like I said, means woman or female and wife. That she conceived is Hara, and can mean became pregnant. She gave birth to is Yalad, means to give birth to. At Cain, and Cain means own or possess, or spear, or to strike quickly. And she said, I have kana, and that kana means made, obtained, acquired, or purchased. So she's saying, I have kana and ish. It's a wordplay, a Hebrew wordplay, Cain and kana. But that she made or obtained an ish meaning a man, and it also means like mortal, weak, and frail. And then it says, I have kana and ish et Yahweh, which is interesting, and I'm not exactly sure how that works grammatically in Hebrew, but she's saying an ish et Yahweh, and I've got a note on that I'm going to get back to. But going on, and when it says, and again, that again is Yachaf, and means to increase. So it's an increase, that she got Cain, and then she's increasing, and also gave birth to his brother, and it implies that his brother is a twin. So Cain and Chabel are twins, implied from my understanding in the verse. And Chabel means breath or vapor or unsubstantial or fleeting. Interesting. Anyways, says he shepherded as a keeper of flocks, while Cain became a worker of the Adamah, and that Adamah has the same etymologically related to the name Adam, and it means farmable ground that you can farm. Okay, and when it says, and it came to pass at the conclusion of days, that conclusion of days is indicating that at the designated time. So there was a designated time that they had to bring gifts. And when it says he brought a gift, and Cain brought a gift, and Chabel brought a gift, it was a minka, and that the term minka refers to a bloodless offering. So there's no sacrifice like killing involved. It's a bloodless offering. So they're bringing something without killing it. Let's see. Sorry, looking through to see if there's anything else to come. Oh, when it says the fattest, he also brought from the firstborn of the females of his flocks the fattest. That fattest means like the very best, the best possible that he could bring, is what he brings to what Chabel brings to Yahweh. And I've heard an interesting teaching on this, that Chabel and Cain, that humanity was commanded to, like, one of the first rules that they're given is to, or the first things they're told, humanity's told, is to be stewards of the animals, to be caretakers of the animals. So Chabel is fulfilling that, and he's bringing the best of the animals to Yahweh. And it's basically like saying, look, I'm doing what you instructed us to do, and I'm doing it as best as I can, and I'm bringing you the best possible the best possible animal that I can from the animals that I'm taking care of. It's really a demonstration of affection, from what I can tell. But then Cain is bringing from the produce from the ground, and the ground refers back to the curse when Yahweh cursed the ground for Adam because of Adam's error, his wrongdoing. So the ground got cursed. So it's almost, to me, the way it looks, is it's almost like Cain saying, yeah, I'm bringing you back what you cursed us with. So it's almost like an in-your-face affront to Yahweh. And I don't, maybe it's not meant that way, but that's the way it looks to me. That's what I got out of it. And when it says Yahweh looked to favor with Chabel, but he did not look to favor with Cain and his gift, that indicates that they knew immediately whether it was approved or disapproved, whether their gift was approved or disapproved. It was an immediate knowing what was going on. And then when it says Cain burned with anger, literally it says, and it was hot to Cain. But that meaning, that's metaphorical, meaning that he was really, really angry. And when it says his face fell, it's actually faces, literally faces, but it's talking about, like, when it says his faces, it's not saying that he has more than one face. It's saying, like, his happy face, his sad face, his angry face, it's different faces that you have, And then when it says his faces fell, it's an idiom meaning that he was sad. So he was really angry and he was sad because he got rejected. And then going on, I thought it was interesting that he says, if you cause it to be done good and right, won't there be uplifting? And that uplifting, I believe, is from Hebrew nasa. But it basically, it seems to be like, won't you, you've been down and low, but if you do good and right, won't you be lifted up in spirit and in relationship with me? That's what it seems to me to be saying. And then here I thought was very interesting, and if you don't cause it to be done good and right, an opening, and that opening is petach, and means entrance or opportunity, an opening of error, and that error is chata, and literally means to miss the target. But it's feminine. It's a feminine word. An opening of error is stretching out. So the error that's stretching out to him is a feminine term. And then he says, and to you is his teshuka. So it can't be talking about the error. That teshuka is desire or turning or following. So the saying that his teshuka, it can't be the error's teshuka. And you will rule in him. The only thing that I can come to, the conclusion that I come to, is that it's talking about Chabel, where Chabel was either desiring Cain or following Cain, looking up to Cain. Very interesting. But even if it's, I think it's possible that you could look at it in a sexual way, that he had sexual desire. But even if that's the case, I don't know. I'm not even going to mess with that, because that's just speculation on my part, and I really don't know. But I do think it's fascinating. But it's the same same term. It's the same kind of sentence structure when Yahweh is talking to Hawa, to Eve, after her and Adam fall away with the serpent, the shining one, and he says to her that your desire is going to be for your husband, and he's going to rule in you. Well, it's the same phrase here, that to you is his desire, to Cain is his desire, and you will rule in him. Which I thought was very, very interesting. Anyways, going on. Let's see. Oh, when he says, "What have you done?" It's kind of in the same way as somebody saying, "What did you do?" That seems to be kind of the same exclamatory way that would have been said. And when he says, "What have you done?" that "you" is singular, so he's talking specifically to Cain, it seems. And it says, "The voice of the bloods of your brother." And that bloods is damim, and it is plural, means bloods. But I think that could be referring to, not only is it the blood of Chabel, but also the blood of any children that he may have had, any descendants that he would have produced. They're no longer alive. Not alive. They're no longer a possibility of life. So I thought that was fascinating. And when it says, "And now cursed are you from the Adamah," that cursed is actually arar, I believe, and it means spitted upon. And it can also have the connotations of punished or banished. And when it says, "Which has opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand," that's that her mouth would in English, I think, would be accurately translated as its mouth, because in English the land is not doesn't have gender, but there's other languages that do this too, where everything has a gender, male or female, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it literally has a gender. It's just the way the language works. Going on. When it says, "You will be an unstable wanderer on the land," unstable could also be like staggering. So he's just, he's not, doesn't have sure footing, doesn't have stability in life anymore. And he says, when Cain says, "My crookedness and twistedness is too great to be lifted," that crookedness and twistedness would be like to twist, bend, or turn. And it means he's not walking the straight line anymore. He's not walking Yahweh's right path. He's gone off course, and he's gotten twisted up. And that "too great to be lifted" nasan could mean to bear or endure. Basically, my twistedness is too great to endure. It's too great to bear. I can't bear it. Going on. Sorry, just looking through. When Yahweh said to him, "All right then," it's lachen, and can mean like therefore, but it's basically like, all right, so you're complaining, I'm taking that into consideration, and this is what I'm gonna say, taking that into consideration. "If anyone kills you, vengeance will be 7 times as much," and it's implied that vengeance is going to be on the killer. If somebody kills Cain, that vengeance will be 7 times as much on them. That special mark is oath, and it doesn't specifically indicate what that special mark was, as far as I can tell, but I thought it was fascinating that it's either similar or the same as the English word oath. Going through. Nod. Nod, the word nod means wandering. So he dwelt in the land of Nod. He dwelt in the land of wandering. And when it says east, that's from the direction of the rising sun. And Eden means pleasure. So the Garden of Eden really just means pleasure garden. let's see. Hanok. Hanok means dedicated or initiated. And that city, when it says he built a city, that city is Ir. And I have a little joke on rock and roll, but I'm not gonna go into that. That's my little, when I was bored. That Irad, when it says, according to the name of his son Hanok, which means dedicated, initiated, and Irad was brought forth to Hanok. Irad means city of witness, returning or declining fugitive, exciting descent. Okay? And then Irad had brought forth Mechuyael. Mechuyael means destroyed or smitten by El. And Mechuyael brought forth Metusael. Metusael means, I am a mortal fighting man. Where is El? Or the man we wanted. So it's almost like a challenge. I am a mortal fighting man. Where is El? In my face, kind of thing. And had brought forth Lemech. Lemech means powerful, or for lowering, or for humiliation. When it says that he took for himself 2 Isha, meaning women or wives, the name of one was Ada, and Ada means ornament. So he got himself an ornament, was the name of his wife, and the name of the second was Tzila, and means shadow or tingle quiver. So he had an ornament and a shadow. One of his wives was a shadow with a tingle quiver, maybe out of fear. And the other one was an ornament for him. Nice. And Ada brought forth Yabal. Yabal means bring, carry, or lead. And his brother's name was Yubal. Yubal means stream. And Tubal Cain means world and spear or own or possess. And I look at that name as basically meaning world domination through force or violence. So Tubal Cain, world domination through force or violence. That copper is Nachoshet, and the iron is Barzel. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Naama, and her name means be pleasant, sweet, delightful, or beautiful. And when it says, I have killed an Ish for wounding me, yes, even a Yeled for hurting me, that Yeled is young man, but it's basically, it's not different, it's not 2 different people, it's the same person, he's just repeating it. That's, from my understanding, that's Hebrew parallelism. It's kind of poetry where they say the same thing 2 different ways. But Lemech really wants to be, he's violent, and he wants to make sure that everybody knows that he's going to be avenged no matter what. Let's see. How? And when that name Shet, I think commonly known as Seth, that Shet means set in place, but it can also mean buttocks or tumult. And the name Enosh means man frail and miserable, or mortal. And then this I thought was very interesting. At that time he profaned and defiled, or pierced, or began to call out in the name of Yahweh. So it could mean that he began to call out in the name of Yahweh, but they were already calling out in the name of Yahweh. So I think it's more likely that it means that he profaned and defiled, or pierced, to call out in the name of Yahweh. And this is another thing. When Hawa is saying, I have brought forth an Ish at Yahweh, that Ish, as opposed, is a man, a male, a man or male, as opposed to a child, a boy, which would be Bane or baby. Here I have a note on the particle et is a linguistic signal that the next word is the direct object of the sentence. In this case, Yahweh is the direct object. The direct object is the thing acted upon. Let me go down. Sorry. The direct object receives the action of the verb, And Hawa's statement, she acts upon Yahweh in order to obtain a substitute man. It could be that she's acting upon Yahweh, or it could be that she's saying, I have received an ish like Yahweh, or I have received an ish and I'm naming him Yahweh, which I don't think is very likely, but those are possible. I already said the Minka offering was bloodless. There's no killing involved. And then going on, if you look at the names that are listed, they form a message. You've got Cain, own or possess, spear, strike quickly. Chanok, which means dedicated or initiated. Irad, which means city of witness, returning or declining fugitive. Mechuya El, which means destroyed or smitten by El. Metusa El, which means I am a mortal fighting man, where is El, the man we wanted. Lemech, which means powerful or for lowering for humiliation. Yabal, which means bring, carry, or lead. Yubal, which means stream. And Tubal Cain, which means world spear, own, or possess. And I take to mean world domination through force and violence. This is the message that the names, you put all the names together, this is the message you get. This is the message I got anyways. Strike quickly and possess, and dedicate a city of witness for the return of the declining fugitive, who has been smitten by Ale. My challenge, I am a mortal fighting man, where is Ale? I am the man the people wanted, powerful, for lowering and humiliation to those against me. For me they will bring, carry, and lead a stream of captives, world domination through force and violence. That's the genealogy from Cain. That's his legacy. Lovely. So, that's Bereshit chapter 4. Not the most pleasant, but even when Cain killed his brother, murdered his brother, Yahweh comes and is questioning him, but he's questioning him with concern. Why are you burning with anger, and why are you sad? He's concerned. If you cause it to be done good and right, won't there be uplifting? It's almost like he's saying, look, if you go to the good and right, won't I uplift you? Why are you doing this? And if you don't cause it to be done good and right, an opening of error is stretching out. And to you, Chabel, your brother, is looking to you. He's following you. He wants to be like you. He admires you. And you'll rule in him. You'll come out on top. You'll come out above. He's looking up to you. And you've killed him. Tragic. Tragic, tragic, tragic. Not hopeless, but tragic. That's my take on it anyways. I hope that you have gotten something out of this. Can't think if there's anything else I want to add. I just think that message of the names is significant. Anyways, please, if you have any comments, anything you'd like to add, leave me a message. I hope that you're benefiting from this. I hope that your day, night, morning, evening, whenever you watch this is good. And I hope that you have a good life. Thank you very much for watching. And I will talk to you later. Bye. Thanks. Bye.